Peace and light. Peace and light. If you can hear me and see me, put a number 9 in the chat. Africa Starlight Connection. Peace and light. Welcome. Welcome. If you can hear me and see me, put a number 9 in the chat. It's actually getting dark here. So please bear with me as it relates to the lighting. Okay, great. Thank you. Thank you. So people will come in when they come. This will be posted. I had to cut the other one short abruptly, but I am back with this. And so I wanted to provide an update to you all as to what's going on in the West, in our land in the West, and some things that you guys really need to be aware of. Um, so yeah, so the this NWO is progressing forward. It is happening, and it's happening right before our eyes. Those that are truly, truly conscious can see it, but so many just cannot. It's in your face, but yet subtle. So we're back over. We were in Texas, and I had to take care of a lot of business. Um, One of the things that I needed to take care of was regarding my passport. So I was like, okay, let me be proactive and let me go ahead and get my passport updated, right, for my son and myself. So I proceeded to Google, passport renewal, because I wanted to remember the location of the place where I went last time, and it was actually with the government, the State Department. So I saw these other um, locations come up, and so I clicked on them to see what they were, and they were like, "Oh, you can get, your passport like within like 5 days." 3 to 5 days. I was like, oh, okay, well, that's pretty interesting. Let me go ahead and call them up and see if I can get an appointment. So the lady proceeded to tell me, the first lady that I called proceeded to tell me that for my son to get his renewed, it would be 586 USD. And I thought it was a joke. I honestly did. And I was like, I'm sorry. What did you say? Like, were you serious? And she's like, yes. It's like $586. I was like, yeah, no. I still, my brain was still churning, like trying to figure out like what was going on. Like, I'm just like, okay, well, maybe she's off her rocker. So I called another place that was listed right beneath that, stating the same claim, that can get the passport within 72 hours. And so they proceeded to tell me that for my son, remember the other one was like 586. This person proceeds to tell me that it would be 900 and some odd dollars for me to renew my son's passport. And I didn't even get to my passport. So it would have been the same. So whatever they were quoting for him, it was going to be the same for me because now he qualifies as an adult. So he would get the 10-year one like me. So I'm like, what the hell? This is crazy. And then that's when like it was just like this light bulb came on, in my head. And I was telling my son, I was like, something is going on here, like in Texas. Like something is really going on. It's really weird. It's really bizarre. Now, the reason why I wanted to get an appointment is because I wanted to have my passport in hand. I'm very much so aware that I can apply online and via other avenues, but I wanted to get it like in my hand. And so yeah, so I was like, something is going on, something is off and it's not right here. This doesn't make any sense. And so I was like, you know what, I'll just go ahead and I'll go to, the State Department because that's where I went the first time to get our passports. And it was just a little over $100. So I called the State Department to get an appointment. Again, the reason why is because I wanted to get my passport in my hand. And the gentleman proceeded to tell me that, I'm sorry, we don't have any appointments except in Arkansas. Now we're in Texas. So we were in Texas at the time. So I'm like, I'm not going to no daggone Arkansas like just for an appointment. And then boom, that's when it all came together. I'm like, oh, so these people know that they're extremely limited in appointments with the State Department or the government, and so they're taking full advantage, and they are now like capitalizing on the fact that there aren't very many appointments available with the Department of State or wherever you go, and or with the government. And so they're like, we're going to charge whatever the hell we want to charge, essentially. So that's what's happening. Like they don't have any appointments for you to physically go in. And that's how I did it the first time. Like I went in, I got it expedited. The next day they were like, come pick up your passports. And so that's what I wanted to do. I want to be in there, out. No, they don't have any appointments except in Arkansas. That is what I was told when I called the 1-800 number to make an appointment. So you need to be aware that this is what's going on. And I just feel like this is going to progress. Like I just honestly felt like I was in the wild, wild west, like anything goes. Like that's what they're doing. So just be aware that these types of shenanigans are going on. I mean, charging for a renewal, $900 and some odd dollars and $586, like just to renew a passport. Like, are you serious? Like, are you freaking serious? And they know that a lot of us are traveling and we're exploring. And so they are really, again, capitalizing off of that. So just be aware. Okay. But there's always, where there's a will, there's a way. Of course, in many other countries outside of the US, you can go to a US embassy and you can get your passport renewed that way. You can go online and get it renewed. But these are the shenanigans that are going on inside, okay, of the states. The other thing that you guys need to be aware of, and it's something that I've been touching on for a very long time, if you've been watching my channel, is that cash is like, people are starting to act like they're allergic to cash. It is happening. When we were in Texas, my son and I went to at least, hear me, at least 8 places. Okay. Now it was probably more than that, but I can recall 8 different establishments because I was counting them. I was like, they've said no, they've said no, they said no. Okay. So we went to these 8 different establishments. One was like a movie theater. The other one was like a salad bar and other retail shops. And, excuse me. And again, you guys, it's getting dark here, so excuse the lighting. They were like, they don't take cash. All of them. Like all of them. And these salad bar place that I went to, the gentleman, it was a brother, and he was like, I'm not supposed to take cash without manager's approval. And I'm like, what? He said, yeah. He said, but I'm not gonna, like, this time you're good. But he was like, that's like the procedure we're being told. Like if someone wants to pay in cash, like I have to get the manager's approval. I'm like, this shit is really happening. Like it's really freaking happening. So yeah, I mean, and then there were several other retail places that we went to, like, sorry, we don't take cash. Sorry, we don't take cash. So it's happening, it's going on. People are still being denied their funds. And so It's time to convert it. It's time to convert that fiat over to real money. It's time to convert the fiat over to real money. It is time to convert the fiat over to real money. Okay. Or else you gonna be, like I say, ass out in these streets. Okay. So that's what's going on in Texas. That's the 411. Just be careful. And from what I hear, it's happening in other states. It was a sister. Um, I'll put her channel below so that you guys can see. But she was going through the same thing with the and them not, people being allergic to cash, not taking cash. Even I mentioned in my last video when we came to the States that none of them, Uber, DoorDash, like none of them, those apps were taking cash in Texas. Even in Costa Rica, Uber says it will take up to 11,000 loan, Uber Eats rather. And when I try often to make a purchase for 11,000 or below and I select cash, the app like conveniently goes into like an era. Like there's an era that starts to populate and it says, there's an issue, and I will try several times and it still will not go through. And then when I select debit, it mysteriously goes through. It goes through just fine. So, so none of them are taking cash. And so it's happening right before our very eyes. Those of us that have eyes to see can see it very clearly, very, very clearly. There's a video floating around of some confidential information relating to the new currency and the social credit system. And so I just ask you guys to just be diligent and keep your eyes open and just be aware, but most of all, prepare, prepare so that, you can continue to survive and thrive. It's really, really important because it's really real out here. It is real out here. Let me see. Is it midnight over there? Oh no. It's not midnight at all. No, it's not. It's late evening. Um it's late evening. Um the LV Glam 26. Yes, it is crazy. But we have been warned about this for quite some time. And we are actually living in those times, but we've been warned about this for quite some time. If you do not have the book, Behold the Pale White Horse, or the White Horse, you need to get it. I wanted to give you guys some readings. It talks about all of these things. It's important that you get these light codes. Hold on 1 second. But that's what's going on. Did I miss anything? WM West Africa 1980. That's illegal. Not to take cash. What does that mean? These people have been running like there's so much that is illegal. The whole operation, okay, the whole system is illegal. Okay. Really. What does that mean? They're still going full steam ahead. They're still going full steam ahead. Okay. There was a melanated reporter years ago that put an ad in the paper and stated that she would give, or some organization that she was working with, or she would give, she wasn't a reporter, I think she was an attorney. She was an attorney. And she said she would give $50K to anyone who could prove that there was a law stating that we were obligated to pay taxes to the private organization called the IRS. No one ever took her up on her offer. Okay? No one ever took her up on her offer. So, the whole birth certificate thing, which is the bond. I already did the video about the fictitious character that's created when you are, which is the straw man. That's when your name is in all caps. When you go into the court system, if you look on any of your court paperwork, you'll see your name is in all caps. That is the straw man. That is created at the time of birth. The social security card, the red numbers on the back of your social security card, which is your account, okay, in which they use to take money out of when you apply for a credit, for credit. So it's already paid for and they're asking you to pay it back. Not to mention the fiat currency, which is debt currency, which is really debt because it's not really money. And then they loan you debt and then tell you to pay it back. So when you say, oh, it's illegal, like, what does it matter? The whole thing, it has been illegal, and they continue to move forward and do what they do. And we continue to participate in this sickness. Like, a lot of us are pulling out, and it's a beautiful thing, but we have participated in this for far too long, and we only have ourselves to blame. We are the ones that keep it going, and that's just the hard truth. At facts, the system is all legal. Yeah. So, we're in the age of Aquarius, we're in the age of truth. It's such a beautiful time, but there are hard times coming. I mean, my girlfriend was just telling me, she lives out in Nevada, and she was just like, sis, like, I went into the market, and I went to get a pack of chicken for my family, and they're a family of four: husband, wife or fiance, and two kids. And she was like, it was like, I think she said like $18. And there were so many others talking about like just the cost of food, the inflation. When I went, things were expensive. I'm sure it was just a little bit lower just being in the South. But even from the time that I lived in Texas years ago, I mean, the rent, everything has increased. Like, prices for everything has increased like significantly from the time that we lived there. And that was maybe a year or so prior to moving to Alkebulan. So it's going to get harder and harder. It really is. The food is going to continue to get extremely expensive. So again, if you have not started your garden and you don't have it going, you really, you probably won't make it. You better hope somebody will allow you, to take some of their oil, but they're not obligated to do that just because you were a foolish bride. Okay. So that's what it is. If you have not, created your mini communities, or again, even if you're solo dolo and you haven't prepared, then, it's going to get real lure, because I mean, some just need it to get that way and before they act. And unfortunately, when you do that, you lose. You lose because you decided to procrastinate. Because you decided to procrastinate. So you only have yourself to blame. So food is getting more and more expensive. Even the plane tickets, cray cray. For us to go from CR to when we went to Texas, it was almost $800. Okay. Just for a little over 2-hour plane ride. Cray cray. Okay. It was just insane. The prices are just climbing and climbing and climbing. And so it is really, really time for you to stop playing around and prepare and make sure that, you can feed yourself and that you can feed your family. It's not a game out here. Stop, unmaster distractions and master concentration. Unmaster distraction and master concentration. Your very life depends on that. It depends on that. It's about to get real. There are people out here on YouTube saying how they're going to go and rob the people that have publicized their prepping, which is a no-no. You should not be doing that anyway. You should not be publicizing your prepping, showing everybody, what you have prepared, what you have done, where everything is. There are cameras everywhere. There are people out here that can just look at, little small details about your neighborhood or your house, and they can find you. They don't need your address. And you're sitting up here giving them you know, all this information about, what you've prepped and what you have. That's a no-no. So then you can't get mad, when you have people saying, "Oh, now I'm going to come and get that." Although it's dead wrong. And a lot of them are going to be on the losing end because there are a lot of people that's not going to tolerate you coming to to where they live and where their family is and thinking you're going to take anything. So a lot of them are going to be on the losing end, and they probably won't exist anymore. But playing a very dangerous game. But there are people out here saying on YouTube that they're going to go after those that have already prepped, since essentially saying that they prepped for them, so there's no reason for them to have to put the work into prep. Some things just should not be publicized. It just shouldn't. So yeah, I mean, that's the 411. That is the 411. Do your work, keep your vibrations high, prepare yourself. This is not time for games. Everything is being revealed to you right before your very eyes. If you have ears to hear, and if you have eyes to see, if you have an eye to see, it's all the writing is already on the wall. Okay? They're already saying that your president, okay, has come down with uh the C thing again. And what do you think that means? They're talking about this whole monkeypox thing and all these things. You know, just look at the breadcrumbs. The breadcrumbs never change. The zebra never changes its stripes. The zebra never changes its stripes. It's like the same MO, it's the same trick bag, it's the same propaganda with the same outcome. So prepare yourselves. It is not a game. There are people not being able to withdraw their money from banks. I just watched a video today of a brother, and he went in there and told them that he needed to withdraw 100K, um, because he needed it for something very important. And again, he doesn't have to tell them that. He owes them no explanation. It is his money. And they told him that he wasn't going to be able to get the money until Tuesday. Well, he went into the bank, I believe either it was between what, I think Thursday or Friday, and they were telling him that he would have to come back on Tuesday. Now, his money that he put in there, they're telling him that he cannot get it out immediately, that he has to wait some days. Okay. And that if he wanted it, if he wanted money immediately, that they would be able to just give him a cashier's check. Like, he asked for cash. And so that's what's happening. And I mean, I'm seeing this over and over again. I mean, there was a brother that went in for money because he wanted to purchase more land. He went in there and asked for 10K cash. They said no, you have to come back on this particular day in order to get it. They would not give it to him then and there. So just prepare, beautiful ones. Just prepare. Don't be ass out in these streets. But I just wanted to quickly, give you, the 411 as to what's going on in our neck of the woods over in America. Like, that's what I saw when I went to take care of things this time around. So it's happening. This is not a game, and it's not a joke. This is not a time to be fearful. This is a time to be smart and to be wise and to prepare. That's all. And again, if you can come together and do many, communities and self-sustaining communities, that's what you need to be doing, right now. right now. I was reading something and they were talking about like all these abandoned huge houses or mini mansions and mansions, and just they were wondering where these people all went, like why are they abandoned? And um, straight away, I'm like, I know where they went. I know where they went. They already gone. They're hunkering down, you know. So just watch the breadcrumbs, beautiful ones. Watch the breadcrumbs. Prepare yourself. Unmaster distraction. Master concentration. Okay. Control your mind and mind your tongue. Control your mind and mind your tongue. Life and death is in the power of your tongue. Okay. So that's it. That's all that I had for you guys. I just wanted you all to know, what's going on. All right. So until next time, you guys take care of yourselves, take care of each other. All right. Peace, love, and light. All right.